Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Counterpunch with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2, the anniversary, a year after the storm. And a lot of people asked, man, why aren't you doing a year anniversary of that? I mean, it's a fight like any other fight. It happened. We had a winner. We had a person that dominated damn near every round, if not every round. And this is what you have. So you guys asked for it. Now you're going to get it. Okay. It has been over a year now. Actually, it was on the 22nd, so that was Monday. And I noticed that a lot has changed since then. We went everywhere from drug tests, wild boar meat, glove gate 1, glove gate 2, spiked water, drunk referees, dishonest coaches, a lot of stuff. We went through a lot, guys coming forth that said, hey, yeah, Tyson Fury, he cheated, and but I think the most important part, and I think the whole narrative, or narratives, were to overshadow the victory. The victory belonged to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is still an undefeated fighter. He's a fighter that he, once again, the spouted doubters like myself and others, did something that we didn't think he was going to do, especially when it came out of his mouth. I know Deontay Wilder says, speak it, believe it, receive it. But when Tyson Fury spoke it, we didn't believe it. We had to see it to believe it. But definitely Tyson Fury received it. And he said that he would knock out Deontay Wilder. He said that. I didn't believe it because, I never saw something happen like that. Deontay Wilder, of course, he was undefeated at the time, so I didn't think anything of it. But, I wasn't by myself. And it wasn't to say that I disliked Tyson Fury. It was just that I didn't believe it. I thought I was a Ben Davison. I thought that, hey, you know what? You're going to have to use your superb skills to outbox that man because you're not going to be able to hurt that man like that. You're not going to be able to hurt that man to the point where a referee or a coach is going to step in and stop the fight. Now, I said it like that because I think the referee actually stopped the fight without knowing the towel was thrown in. I think that was the case. I think he stopped the fight, then turned and noticed that, hey, his corner stopped it, so the heat was off him. And I think really to validate himself, he was like, well, I was going to stop it, knowing that he already stopped it. He was one of the people that stopped that fight. Either way, that fight was meant to be stopped. It was meant to be stopped. The referee and the coach, or the former coach of Deontay Wilder, Mark Breland, did their job. They didn't do that to be malicious to Deontay Wilder. They did that to save a person's life, because the sport of boxing is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. If you can die in sparring, that means you should really pay close attention to the main event, to what's happening in there. We had guys like, is it Dadashev, right? Dadashev, right? Russian guy, passed. Patrick Day, passed. An Australian fighter in sparring, passed. All these guys passed on, died in the ring due to the sport of boxing, the brutality of it. Look at Adonis Stevenson, was in a coma. Zab Judah, he knew, hey, I can't do this no more. There's several, you can go down the list of people that lost their life in the ring. So that night, February 22nd, I was amazed. I was just blown away by what happened. I was, because I did not think that Tyson Fury would do it that way, but he did. And because he did, he's in a position that he's in now. It was a lot of bumps and bruises and turns. It was no straight arrow, definitely, because it's supposed to have been a Wilder 3 trilogy fight. That didn't happen. But what is seeming to happen is a mega fight between him and resurrected two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. So his reward is what he calls his retirement check. He did all that to beat Wilder. So a lot of people that say Wilder isn't worth this or isn't worth that, well, Wilder, beating Wilder definitely put Tyson Fury in the situation that he's in today, and he's making over $100 million because of that. So again, if you want to talk about the marketability of Deontay Wilder, obviously it means much to other people to see him beat. Okay? He is a fallen king without a crown. Now, on his end, what will he do? He's doing all the right things right now, despite what he's did, and his criticism for the things that he said. But now he's saying the right things. He's saying, hey, I want to fight the guys that I didn't fight. I want to take on the challenges for my comeback. And my counterpunch to that is, that sounds great and dandy, but hey, let's see it. Speak it, believe it, let's receive it. Because I want to see him fight Andy Ruiz. I don't want to see another Ortiz fight. I would love to see him fight Anthony Joshua down the road. I want to see a Dillian White. Hey, give us a Derek Chisora. I wanted to see Charles Martin. I heard that he wanted too much money for that. So, I mean, these type of fights have to happen. Let us see somebody that we never seen before. Let him get his confidence back, most importantly. Because if a fighter doesn't have his confidence, I think that's a shell of a fighter. If you don't believe me, ask Adrian Broner. Okay? I think that was a person that lost his confidence. Something happened upstairs, mentally. So if he doesn't have that, what good is he really? Okay, so Deontay Wilder, because of this fight gave birth to a lot. That fight, February 22nd, quieted a man for a very long time. So despite what you think a person said or believed or whatever started, that fight caused Deontay Wilder to be mute for at least 6 months. Okay? And that just shows you the power of one fight. Okay? That fight made a man stop doing what he normally does, because you ask yourself this question: had Deontay Wilder won, do you think he would be as quiet as he was? And I think you guys all know the answer to that. No, it's not. It wouldn't. It wouldn't be. He wouldn't be. He would be that guy that, oh, you know what? I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I told you I knocked him out the first fight, and I did it again. You would have heard something along the lines of that. That would have been the narrative. Then the Joshua fight would have been probably ongoing, up and down, back and forth, because you know what would have happened if Deontay Wilder would have beat Tyson Fury? This would have happened. The same shit we seen in 18 through 19, it would have remained the same through 2020. So, because, why, you ask? Because Deontay Wilder has an ego. And since he has an ego, he has pride. So pride mixed with that ego, meaning he has expectations. And the expectations he expects will never be what it is. Now, will it be 50-50 split? I've heard Eddie Hearn say that before, but we would go back to that, right? We would really revert back to the same problems that may or may not ever be solved. But we do have a Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and we are waiting for Deontay Wilder to make his return to the ring. As a result, we thought we would get a lot of humbleness from Wilder, but we didn't. We got a meaner, a more resentful Deontay Wilder. That's what we have by default. But it was because of one night. 1 year later, after the storm. You guys tell me what you think about Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. 1 year after the storm. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.